It's a Talking Habs subscriber drive. Hit the subscribe button and stay a while. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. So, we got ourselves a COVID break subscriber drive. Montreal Canadiens supposed to be back in action next week. Tentatively, I think, because the way the team is right now, I mean, I don't know how many players will be back when they're ready to come back. I don't know what's going on. There may be a delay still to come. We'll have to see how it works out. But hey, listen, we should have hockey on Wednesday. Players are coming off the list. I believe Lehkonen, Hoffman, and Laurent Dauphin are off the list now. And pretty soon there's like 6 guys coming off. But that's on the 10th, so not in time for the next Boston game. But hey, we're going to see what kind of team there is for Boston. I'll tell you what, though, if they lose a goalie, I don't know that they can play. Like if McNiven is out, if McNiven comes down with it, I don't know. They have nobody else. Jake Allen won't be off the list until the 10th. I think Primo went on after him, so that's not going to happen. And I don't know who else is there. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with all that, and hopefully we'll have hockey back next week. Another one of the Canadiens' home games was canceled. Next Saturday's game against the New Jersey Devils, that's been canceled. Well, postponed because it's a home game. They're not having home games right now. Okay, let's see who's here. Well, David, I don't know if you're here, but David Arthur, how's it going? He says, talk to you later, so talk to you later. King Julian, how's it going? Furious Flea, how's it going? Habs Guru. King Julian says, Nick Ritchie is on waivers from Toronto. We may pick him up. No, we may not. I wouldn't know. Why? Like, what's he going to bring to us? No. I don't like his stupid face, to be honest with you. I know that's not a nice thing to say, but he was a Maple Leaf. No, I hope not. Hey, Quinn, Y Cloud Z. Y Cloud Z. I don't know how. Y Cloud. I'm just going to call you Y Cloud. How's it going, man? And Rich J, how's it going? Awesome. Awesome to have a bunch of people in the room. Wasn't sure. David's back. Hey, David. How's it going? David, I noticed a little bit earlier today, you sent me a message on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook a lot these days. I'm mostly there to post my videos and not live. So I apologize for that. And as far as anybody on my, for Facebook, I have a Facebook page for the channel. You can go there. A friend request, no problem, but not on my personal page. I don't do that on my personal page. So hopefully nobody's not upset if I didn't take you as a friend on my personal page. But yeah, it's just a thing. Arizona claimed Ritchie. All right, so we don't have to. I don't think we would have anyway, but Arizona would have the first dibs on him anyway. Awesome. Good. Arizona got him. Good for them. Yes, Quinn, my son does. He should be actually, what day are we today? It's Thursday night. He might not actually be streaming tonight, but he does. I don't know if he streams as much as he was, but he's still streaming, yes. And that's at, let me see if I remember now. It is a giant robot. A giant robot on Twitch. That's my son. And yeah, check him out. King Julian says, no, they claimed Rick Nash. Richie's on waivers today. Well, there you go. So they'll claim him tomorrow. X3J. Do you think about Montreal prospect Josh? You know, I kind of left him out, and it was a mistake. In the video I put out today, yeah, I mean, I thought about it too late. Yeah, he's a keeper. And you know what? It wouldn't matter if he's French or English. This kid's a keeper. The fact that he's from Quebec makes him even more so, I think. And I'm fine with that part. I mean, the guy looks legit. Yeah, I forgot about him in my video, but he should have been in there. Quinn, it is, okay, all one word. A giant robot. A giant robot. Talk to you later, David. Have a good night if you don't if you don't end up back in here. So yeah, Montreal made a really a good hire, I think, yesterday, hiring Chantal Maccabi as the communication. Let me do that again. Vice President of Communications. I think it's not the first. I mean, it's not the only woman hire they're going to make this season. I fully expect, obviously not official, but I fully expect an assistant GM. If they have more than one, okay, but I think the assistant GM will be a woman. They might go with two AGMs. It's very possible. But it was a good hire. She's a good hire. She'll well respected, well liked here in Montreal with all the media and everybody. And I'm hoping it'll mean a little bit more transparency, to the public and to the media. So yeah. As far as speaking well, yeah, I mean, she's fluently bilingual, so there's no problem there. But she's been around a long time here in the sports and media scene. I think it's a really good hire. She's also a Rocket. Was she working for the Rocket? I know she was working at RDS. That's where she's leaving RDS to take this job. King Julian, Mark Denis as GM or Luongo for you is the best two options available. Yeah, well, they're getting interviews. Apparently, they're obviously interviews are going on right now. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I think it was today. I read that it looks like they're going to announce, or they'd like to announce the new GM in about 10 days and sometime in the next 10 days. So, figure in the next 2 weeks we should have a new GM. So, I'm glad they're not going to drag it out too long. Besides, you want to have the new GM in place well before the trade deadline. So. Hey, Little Green Cactus, how's it going, man? Good to see you here. But yeah, I mean, they asked for permission to speak to Luongo. I think he's with the Panthers now in their front office. They asked permission to speak to Mark Denis. I'm not sure. Do they need permission for Mark Denis? I'm not sure where he is. He's radio, so they don't need permission. For Matthew Darsh and somebody else I was reading. I don't remember the name. Apparently, Martin Madden Jr. is not. He's off the list, mostly because the Ducks are doing the same thing. They've got a little committee going, and they're going to find a new GM. I imagine since he's already working for the Ducks, he's got to be in the running there. They wouldn't give permission for him to talk to another team if they're considering him. So he's out. I read that today or yesterday. King Julian, I would tend to agree with you that about Sherrod, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be. Although I would think Sherrod, I don't want to say he could be easy to trade, but they should be able to find a deal pretty quickly for Sherrod. Apparently, he's high in demand right now. So, but you never know, right? The one you think is going to happen sometimes doesn't happen right away. Hey, Renault, how's it going? Which right-handed D and C can the Habs add by next season? Don't know. And listen, I'm sure they'll add those positions, but don't expect it to be a big trade and a big name coming. I wouldn't expect that. I think they're going to not tear down the team like to bare bones, but I think they're going to move guys out, not bring guys in. What they're going to bring in mostly is going to be maybe some prospects, but draft picks and like that. I don't expect any big names coming back. Does that mean it won't happen? No, it doesn't mean that. I don't know, but I don't expect that. Little Green Cactus. Wait, now is that? I don't know. First of all, it's a joke that you said Gordon called you today, but the stuff with the no, I don't know you. I don't want to make a joke if something that's true and you don't have arms. It might be a funny joke for you, but it's uncomfortable for us if that's the truth. But yeah, I'm sure Gordon didn't call. Hey, Filibuster, how's it going, man? I think we need to stock up on those picks, get too many, and move some for the next year. Like Bergie did, he picked 10 times every year, basically. I agree. I mean, you're looking at prospects and picks, I would think, is mostly what they're moving these guys for. You might see some guys come back, but I wouldn't expect any big names. Why would you bring back any star players or anything approaching that if you're rebuilding? First, they're going to announce whether they're resetting, retooling, rebuilding. That's the first thing. And then we'll see. I mean, depending on what they're saying, right? If it's a retool or a reset, yeah, you'll see guys get traded and other guys come in, I guess, that are actual NHLers. But in a rebuild, not that likely. But Renault, that I mean, think about what you're saying. Why would they bring in Letang? Like, what's Chris Letang going to bring to a rebuilding team? Would Chris Letang want to go at his age to a rebuilding team? Like, I kind of doubt that. Rich J, I think once there's a GM in place, I would hope that if they're going, that's how they announce it, is by putting out a letter, like he did with New York. I don't see why that would change. He's not armless. He's hard. He's from Quebec. He maybe he is armless, but he's from Quebec, so it might come out as harmless. That's not a really great joke. I figured you were kidding, Little Green Cactus. I was just wondering if you're not, then how are you typing that? Take Letang if he comes with picks as a salary dump. That's about the only way. Okay, a good point that I overlooked. True, and I think if you're going to see any names like that come here, it's exactly that. It's a salary dump. Montreal should have room on the cap, especially moving out contracts that are higher and bringing in guys, on ELCs and low-paying contracts. So there's going to be money around for doing that. So good point for and Renault. So I kind of apologize because you may be right. Um, I I don't know what Pittsburgh's got as far as draft picks and stuff like that. Anyway, but yeah, that's how it'll happen, I guess. King Julian says, "I'm thinking we'll be running a leadership of Gallagher as captain, Anderson and Suzuki as assistant after reset as players we keep." I wouldn't. I wouldn't be sold on Gallagher. I mean, because he's said that he doesn't know that he wants to stay through a rebuild. So I would think, Gallagher's getting up there in age now. He's 29. He's going to be 30 next season. He might want to be getting an opportunity to win before he's 35. You know what I mean? So, like, I wouldn't count on I wouldn't count on Gallagher being here. He may stay, and I'm fine with that. I've said it before. Gallagher should stay as the leader of the team, the captain. But then he said he's not sure he wants to stay through that. So, yeah, I don't know. Take all the old French Canadians for the salary dumps. But then the people are going to expect that the team is French and they're only going to want French players. You can't set a precedent like that. Sorry, you just can't. Not here anyway. Season ticket holders and corporate sponsors want guys like Letang, who will be free agent. Habs just have to offer the most money. Um, but okay, but even at that, if you're saying that Letang comes here as a free agent, no, they're not going to offer him a ton of money to come here. They'll pick up guys in a salary dump thing. Yes, I get that point. Not signing big name free agents to big money. That just makes no sense. X3J says, I say we trade Jeff Petrie for Josh Manson and some picks from the Ducks because he is on the trade block. I would think Petrie would be on the trade block. Specifically to say that, I mean, it's a good idea, but it's hard to say what the Ducks will do just because we want that. But, you're getting rid of an older guy with a big salary. You bring in a younger guy. If you're bringing in a guy that's 25 or less in a trade, that makes sense because he'll be here through the rebuild and all that, Mike, yeah, I know what you're saying, and you're right. Draft picks, getting the high picks guarantee doesn't guarantee anything either. But if you develop right and you surround them with the right kind of guys, there still has to be trades and you have to bring guys in still. I mean, that's, that doesn't change. So, yeah, but you're right. Going this way does not guarantee a Stanley Cup in the next 3 years. No, we're being a little optimistic, but, why not? Gallagher's relationship with referees is the only reason that I would hesitate to make him a captain. But yeah. Randy says, enough with the old guys. Hey, Randy, how's it going? Well, I said that in my two videos yesterday and this morning and yesterday. Is you look at the video for the guys on the trading block, look at their ages, and then look at the video for the guys that I think should stay, and look at their ages. And that's a rebuild. You're keeping young guys. You're not keeping old guys. Mike, that's a good point, but this is Quebec, and it's what it is. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying there. Mike saying this is world hockey. Montreal needs to get best players. Nationality does not matter. I agree with that, but this is Quebec. Randy, some veteran presence should still be here. Oh, you have to, yeah. I think Petrie. I mean, maybe he'll stay, but I think you can get something for him. I think you'd trade him. Anderson, on the other hand, at 27, I think Anderson should be kept. He's on my keeping list, definitely. Renault, Galley was never a skill guy, and I think that hurts him in the ref's eyes, and he's privy to star treatment. I don't know what you mean exactly by privy to star treatment by the refs. Then you're insane. If you're going to go and say that Gallagher's privy to star treatment by the refs, yeah, I don't know what you're drinking, but you should stop. Seriously. So I'm not sure about that. But to say Galley's not a skill guy, I mean, he scores goals. That's pretty much skill. It's a lot of sort of punchy in the face kind of goals, so I'll give you that. But man, he ain't privy to star treatment. Renault, you may be done with Petrie, but why sell low on somebody that you can get something? Well, why would you do that? It's like, I just want to get rid of him. So just take him when there's teams that'll give you something for him. That's ridiculous. So, but it's cool if you're done with Petrie, but you don't sell low. Yeah, Randy, Sidney Crosby's not coming here. The only way to get elite talent is through the draft period. Not exactly true, Andrew. I don't disagree with that 100%, but Vegas got Eichel. There's ways. I mean, you can make trades, but in general, you're right. I mean, you're right. The thing is, it's not a guarantee that that's going to win you a cup. Only one team wins a cup every year. That's it. Only one. So it doesn't guarantee you. But you know what? Getting elite talent like that, except in Edmonton's case, should guarantee you being in the playoffs and, doing something in general. Not every year, maybe, but. Roy Shroud. What about Drouin? How much longer does he continue to get a free pass at 5 point? It's 5.5, but it's close enough. He's got 1 year left on the contract. I would move him. I would, but he's a French player, and with everything he went through last year, I don't know that they do. I have that feeling. I have him on my moving list. I have him on the block. So yeah, but I don't know. And maybe nobody takes him. I mean, got to have a dance partner. But yeah, I think he goes on the block. Snakes on a plane. How's it going, Snakes on a plane? This team needs some size in the forward group for our future. We have a lot of smaller prospects. It'd be good to add some of that in this year's draft. No, there's some bigger guys, but there's some smaller ones too. Yeah, I think size is important. But we got a couple of small guys that have some really good potential. And then we got some bigger guys too. So Randy, I don't know that you'd call Romanov experienced D though. That's one reason why I think they'll keep Edmondson for a couple of reasons, which I mentioned in a couple of videos. I'd keep Kulak. And then, Romanov and some young guys. I think, you go like that. I think they might keep a guy like Weidman around for an extra year because of that experience thing. He's low cost. But I don't know that I'd call Romanov experienced yet. Yeah, Renault, I think we've been waiting out his contract. That's why I say with a year left, you might be able to move him, but you still might not. You might have to hold some salary. I think if they retain some, they could probably move him, but I don't know. X3J, yeah, that kid that I don't talk about is playing in the OHL. Nice. I think actually starts tomorrow. Snakes on a plane. It's funny because you say that. I'll read the comment. He's talking to Randy. We'll probably end up having Savard stay based on him probably not generating interest enough, though I want him gone. And I left him out of both videos and totally forgot. But basically, I'm thinking subconsciously, I was thinking exactly that. I don't know that you can move him. He's French. He is playing better. We'll give him that. He's been playing better lately. If he can continue to play like that, say the last 3-4 games, that's okay, but not the way he was playing at the beginning of and most of this season. But yeah, I left him out of my videos, totally not consciously left him out, but I think I subconsciously left him out. Mike, it's not a bad point, but then again, you got to say to trade him, you might have to have him play. So teams can see that he can play still. And if they're going to make that kind of a commitment to him. So, I kind of think that if he wants to go, he's got to come back by the end of the season and play a little bit. And if he sits out the whole season, I think he might be telling them that I'm going to stay in Montreal and take the time to get healthy and come back strong. But I think if they're going to be able to move him, I see Price being moved if he does get moved in the offseason, not a trade deadline move. And so he'll have time at that point to play some games before the end of the season. And I think then, yeah. So I think we might know what his thinking is, whether he's going to try to come back before the end of the season or not. Phil, I saw your comment earlier or yesterday about that, and I don't disagree with you about Drouin. I don't think a lot of people agree with you, though, unfortunately. But and I kind of think they're going to keep him. Where I would try to see if there's a taker. Phil, it does take. I agree with you that it takes a lot of guts to do what he did. It doesn't mean that he's gonna be any better on the ice. I think I don't know what to think with him. Honestly, I just he can give you 50 points pretty consistently, and that's fine. It's just, there's something lacking there. I don't know. Suzuki to be captain. But okay, wait, we're gonna analyze what Renault just said there. I want Suzuki to be captain with Romanov and Harvey Pinard captain within 5 years. But think about that. So what you're saying is if Suzuki is captain now, they're gonna take his captaincy away in 5 years? And then what? Trade him? I don't know what you're thinking is there. It's not gonna happen. I love Harvey Pinard so far. And Romanov, but if Suzuki's named captain, he's going to keep that captaincy for a long time. Snakes on a plane. Gouli, Romanov, Norlander, and possibly Harris will play next season. This leaves 2 spots for some vets. One can be Kulak, and hopefully the other someone else possibly mentioned like Manson. Yeah, listen, Gouli, first of all, I don't know that that's a guarantee he'll be here next year. I do think he'll be here at some point. I don't know that's a guarantee he'll start. Harris, not a guarantee even to sign. So that's an if. Let's see that he signs with the team first. I think he wants to not sign and become a free agent. he seems to be going that route. So we'll have to see who's here. Can we fire Savard? Not this Savard, no. Savard is fine. We'll be able to get a decent return for him. He was free. How was he free? We signed him as a free agent, I guess. Yeah, you're right. You know, if he plays like at the beginning of the year, not going to be easy to move him. If he plays like he's been playing, say, the last, I'm going to say 5 games, yeah, I think he's movable at that point. But if he's playing like that, being from Quebec, I don't know that they move him. Snakes on a plane, you don't pay $3.5 million for a 7th. That's the thing. Savard is like Matheson or Pedersen on Pittsburgh, but Savard is cheaper. Yeah, I don't know enough about those two to say that, but I guess he is cheaper than them though. Phil, best way to be. Best way to be. It took me a while to have that attitude here, but I mean that's pretty much, you know, I try to give you my opinions, not other people's opinions, and all mashed together. Which I have to admit, beginning of my time here on YouTube, I kind of did, but no, not anymore. Ooh, jumped. Whoa, how far did that jump? Hang on a second, guys. There we go. If Price gets hurt, no one will take him. No, I get that, but he's got to play a little bit too. Who's going to take a $10.5 million goaltender who's 35 when the season starts again next season without seeing him play after coming back from an injury? Nobody is. Even if you hold half the salary, nobody is. King Julian, I actually like that. I like Sam Poulin. Drew for Sam Poulin from Pittsburgh. I like that. I haven't kept tabs on Poulin, but yeah, I could see. I would think Montreal would be interested in acquiring him. I don't know if straight up for Drouin though, but yeah, I like that idea. When Drouin has played that 2 seasons, he's produced almost a point per game on a bad offensive coach team. Drouin can produce points. That's why, I mean, that's the one thing I'm not gonna say he doesn't. He's pretty much, you've put him out for 82 games, you're gonna get about 50 points, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, somewhere around there. Yeah, I think people would be interested in him, but I don't know. And I don't know that the Habs were going to really be willing to trade him because of the fact that he's French. It seems like they want to have French players around, which is fine. I have nothing against that. It's Drouin's case in particular. Like I always say, if it doesn't matter where you're from, if you're a good player and you're producing, fine, be here. If you're not, I don't care where you're from. I don't want you here. I guess I think I have it set for that. So yeah, I'm talking to myself now. Sorry. Phil says I don't think Drouin will be better on the ice. I think he's too good off it, and he'll help the youth. Montreal is a terrible place for people who can't handle pressure, and we are pressureful. I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point, especially for if they're planning to bring in some young Quebec players. I could see Drouin being a mentor for that, but I mean, I don't know. So you might keep him for the last year of his contract. Are you going to re-sign him? I doubt that. I really doubt that they're going to re-sign Drouin. So if you can move him, I say move him. Because it's either now or it's at next trading deadline. I think, unless he completely turns it around. which we've been saying for the last 4 years, and he hasn't done it. So I get the mental health issues, and I'm not belittling the guy, but I still don't know that he's going to turn it around. I would have thought he'd have done that this year, and he played okay. It's not, but he played typical Drouin so far, so that hasn't changed. Little green cactus. I saw so many highlights of him in Tampa, and he just exactly like you're saying, that kind of spark. It's a different player, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why we didn't get that guy. Is that first year here when we made him a center and there's all that pressure, did that totally ruin this kid? Because he has not. I've never seen him with that spark I saw in those highlights from Tampa Bay. So I don't know. After 4 years here, 5 years he's here. I don't know how long he's here. 4 years, I guess. Yeah, I don't really think it's going to happen. Hey, Zachary, by the way, I'm reading your comment. I should say hi. Yeah, well, both. I think it was here in Montreal, the Habs Leafs game. So there's no fans allowed in the stands. They're not playing games in any Canadian arenas that aren't allowing fans. So, but they'll be made up. It'll be made up in when that happens. And then if it's going to be that no, they're not going to be all season no fans, then they'll make the games up anyway. Okay, Renaud, I get you. I get you on that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who the assistants will be, but yeah, I mean, it very likely could be those guys. But to win a cup within 5 seasons, depending on players added, what they do with a reset, retool, or a rebuild, hard to say right now if it could be 5 seasons. But I would hope so. I'd like to see another cup before I die. I don't know if I'm going to die in 5 years or not, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. I hope I don't. Should I knock wood on that? If we get a 7th-round pick for Savard, we win. We'll get a 3rd, I bet, maybe more. It depends. For Savard, I don't think anybody really would trade for him the way he was playing at the beginning of the season. But like I said, he's playing better now, and I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I wouldn't think it'll be as low as a 7th. And would they? I guess if they're really desperate to trade him, they might do it for a 7th, but I doubt they would. Boy, she jumps a lot. I think we get 2 picks. I think maybe we take. Who's that? I can't even pronounce that. Juraj Slavikovsky. I don't know. What country is he from? Is he from just hit all the keys on the typewriter at the same time, see how the name comes out? Country? Lambert looks good, yeah. Shea Weber has more value to Montreal than media let on. 230 pounds. You think twice about going into the corner with him there. But Shea Weber is essentially retired. There's no value in going into the corner with a guy who's not on the ice. But I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, you seem to. I guess I'm going to say you're in the group that thinks that Weber will be back next season, or well, there's no playoffs this year, so it would have to be next season. I'm not on that. I don't know that that's not the case, but I wouldn't really be leaning towards that. It just wouldn't shock me if we find out that Weber isn't done. It wouldn't shock me. But am I thinking that that's how it's going to be? No. I think he's done. Got to trade Savard to a GM at the deadline who is stressing to do anything to make their team better. Last moment deal, and maybe it'll work. Well, he did win a cup with Tampa. Maybe a team last minute thinks they need a little bit more depth. Maybe. But remember, he's got 3 years left on his contract. It's making a commitment. If his contract was like his UFA or 1 season left, might be different. With 3, I don't know that. I don't know. You would want Savard over Kulak in the playoffs? I don't know. I think Kulak's underrated. I like Kulak. I think he's underrated. Maybe Savard's built better for the playoffs. That could be something. I don't know. I don't know. And Petrie over both for no. But Phil, I don't see Petrie staying through this. I don't know what year he's got a no movement clause kicks in. Petrie, he's got a no movement clause that if he says, yeah, okay, I'll go, then he can give it's a modified no trade, and he gives a list. Would he want to stay through a rebuild? I doubt it. I'm sure he'd like an opportunity at a cup as well. So I don't know that Petrie would want to stay, and I don't know that a rebuilding team would keep a Petrie. Hey, Daryl Adams, how's it going, man? Can't see Price wanting to leave, but if he does, who would you go after for another goalie if you can get Halak? Would you? Halak's getting old at this point. I don't know. Honestly, I'd keep Allen. I'd keep Allen at that point. He's making under $3 million. I think on a rebuilding team, I'd keep Allen. He's won a cup, so it's not like, I want to go win a cup. He may want to win another one, but I mean, he has won one. I think I would keep Allen here. I think Halak he's too old to be a starter. I want a guy who can start at least half the games, a little bit more, and who could be a good mentor to, I guess at first year to be Primo, unless they bring somebody else in, but something like that. Stop screaming at me, Phil. I jumped again. Assign Drouin to the player mental health thing we just created. Did we create? Well, I mean, they want to create. I don't know if they just did. The league, or are you talking about Gordon and the team? Send Drouin on his way, says Mike. Trade Sherratt and Price to Edmonton for all the youth futures picks we can deep in the future. The problem with Edmonton, though, is I don't think they have a first-round pick to give for next year. So for this draft. So I think Edmonton is out if you're looking for a first rounder, and that should take Sherratt out of it and Price, I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And really, their prospects and all that, I don't know that there's a really good fit in Edmonton. So check on that, because I was reading this. I didn't actually go do the research, to be honest with you. Everyone needs a warm body to join their team. Any player with experience should be considered. I read an article that advocated bringing Markov back for 10 games. Yeah, I mean, but I think a lot of that is just they just want him to get to 10 games, so he's 1,000-game Hab career. But and a lot of it with everybody out on COVID. I mean, I think that suggestion's been brought up for that reason. Mike checked his crystal ball. I'm good for about 10 years. Who? Oh, I get it now. Hey, listen, I'll take 10 years right now. Still a little young at 68, but that's fine. I'll take 10 years now, and I'll negotiate another 10 over the next 10. Who's from Slovakia? I'm not sure. Who are we talking about that's from Slovakia? I don't remember. Or Czech. I don't remember who we're talking about. Weber could hold a lot of value if we're rebuilding. He's a guy that can be on the LTIR, so I can see some value trading him if we're headed that direction. Well, they can keep him on the LTIR, but I think if they're going to move Weber out, and I would suspect that they might do this, is you got to trade him back to Nashville, because Nashville would not want Weber to retire because of they're the team that signed him to this contract. There's the money that they have to give up if he retires early. So yeah, or you keep him and he's on LTIR. You get his money. Would I try to trade Galley and get money off the books? If Galley says to me, I don't really want to be here through a rebuild, yeah, I'd probably try to trade him. If he's fine with staying, I'd keep him. I would keep him and make him the captain. Mars boy, yo homies, anyone got any trade offers for Pedersen? I honestly I don't know. Who could we move over there? Do you think they'd be willing to move Pedersen? Are you a Vancouver Canucks fan? Didn't they just sign him to a 3 or 5 year deal? Last season, Edmondson was way ahead of Sherratt on the roster, and now reports Sherratt worth a first. How do you explain Ben's inflated value? Good showing in the last playoffs. Eats up a lot of time on the ice. He plays a lot of important minutes, tough minutes. Yeah. You would dangle Allen for the best return and use the goalies already in the system. Yeah, I don't know. I think Allen, like if you didn't get enough first round picks and you think Allen will get you a first rounder, that might be. But remember, goalies don't always return what you think they're going to return. They usually give you less than you think they're worth. So, trading Allen might not really pay off, and it might be better to keep him. Pedersen, $7.3 million for 2 more. So it was a 3-year deal they had signed him to. Hey, Deep B. Personally, I think Allen would be easier to trade. I think Edmonton would take a shot at him. Yeah, he'd be easier to trade. Yeah, for sure. Well, I would, if you're in the mind to trade Price, I would try to trade him first before I just say, well, I'll trade Allen because Price will be hard to trade. I don't know. I'm in the mind that I would like to keep Allen if we're trading Price, and even say that I'd like to keep Allen maybe over Price in a rebuild. Yeah, I think Toffoli's going to go too, Phil. I don't see Toffoli being here next year. No. I mean, it makes sense. That guy is going to be in demand. His contract got a great contract for the next 2 years. I would think Toffoli's going to. I think Toffoli could maybe not alone give you back a first rounder, although you'd think maybe if Sherratt would. You package him up with somebody and you get a first round back. And I think Toffoli could go either 1-2 Sherratt and Toffoli. Like, I seriously think if they start making deals once they name the GM, Toffoli could be gone sooner than you think. I mean, if I'm a team that thinks I'm a contender, looking for some extra scoring, and I can get Toffoli in there and I've got the cap space, I go for it. Take Edmonton's next year's picks and the year after that. Yeah, but I mean, I think if you're making that deal, you want first round picks this year. It's going to be in Montreal, the draft. You're looking to get on that podium more than once in the first round. King Julian, yeah, I was reading that, yeah, kind of yesterday, I think, about Edmonton, and they don't have the first round pick that you'd want. So, yeah, I think maybe Edmonton's out as far as Price or Sherratt. Current NHL conditions are mitigating any Price trades badly right now. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I think a Price trade is an off-season trade. I think I said it before. Where did it go? I'm sorry, I'm lost where I was. Okay, well, I'm just gonna stop over here and start from there when I find one that's directed at me. Mars Boy saying, "I'll be square with you. Pedersen is too weak, or he's just having a bad season. Like I would think he's having a bad season. He is a bit on the small side. It's one of the reasons I don't think I would want to take Pedersen. I mean, that's why I was hesitant. I didn't jump all over and go, yeah, we want Pedersen. I don't know. Why would we retain half on Sherratt? He's a free agent at the end of the year. You're trading him at the deadline so that, and that's why you probably want to move Sherratt earlier than that so you can get better value. They have him longer. But there's nothing to retain really on Sherratt. He's gonna be half a season of salary for the new team. Like I doubt there's much to retain. Only way see Price leave the Habs if Mark becomes a GM on another team, he might go play for them. No, look, don't. It's still a business, and if Price wants to win a cup in the next 2-3 years, if he thinks, well, I can play another 2-3 years, I want to win a cup, he's going to want to go, and it's kind of up to him. Believe me, I think if he said to the management, listen, I'll waive my no movement clause, can you find a deal for me? I think they trade him. I don't think, if he comes to them, I think they'd be going, oh, good. That kind of solves a problem, On a rebuilding team, a $10 million goalie, I don't see how that makes sense, honestly. On a reset or a retool is a different story because it's a lot faster process. Okay, but I think if you're rebuilding, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. But hey, it's me. It's my opinion. That's all. Half of Pedersen and Susie sounds good to me. Both at 7.5-ish forever. Good solid base for me. Yeah, it depends. I don't know. Pedersen's having a bad year. Am I right or wrong? I don't think he's having a great year. Now, neither is Suzuki, I guess. That's true. But Pedersen's a little older, if I'm right. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not sold on Pedersen, to be very honest with you. And Mars was saying, yes, Canucks fan here, and we want to move him. So that's what makes me a little leery right there. King Julian, and they'll probably want what I and maybe a lot of you guys would consider an overpayment too. And I wouldn't want to do that. Mike Roger, I never say your last name, but Mike Weber's like almost impossible to replace. Like exactly, no, it's almost impossible. So yeah, I mean your point well taken on that for sure. A little green cactus, I'd gamble on him too if the price were really good. Like okay, if the price was like, oh, this you can't turn that down. That's different. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Phil says, imagine adding. I know he means Sherratt and he just spelled it, but he says Sciarto. Sciarto, I haven't heard of him, but it's Sherratt, obviously. Sherratt Toffoli at half to your team, making 7.5 million more in space. You can fit Price maybe. You know what? I think Toffoli's contract's really good contract. I don't see why you'd have to hold a penny of that. And Sherratt, like I said, anyways, is UFA. There's nothing to hold. So. Phil, didn't Marc Andre Fleury said it was his last season this year? He agreed to come back, or was it his last contract? I don't remember, but I thought he was done after this year. He is like 39, so I think if Fleury was a little younger, they would do that. If there's a goalie that could come in here after Price has moved out, Marc Andre Fleury would probably be the guy. But I don't know that 5 years because I think he's 39. He would be like 44? No. Mars Boy, good point. Canucks would want Toffoli back more than likely. That's true. So you could include Toffoli in a trade over there to Vancouver. Do they have a first round pick? I don't know. Would I trade Suzuki and Caulfield for Draisaitl? I wouldn't trade Suzuki. And would Edmonton trade Draisaitl right now? Really? You think they will? I don't know. I wouldn't trade Suzuki. In a way, look, Draisaitl, you might think, okay, he's better right now and all that. I don't give you that. But if you're trading Suzuki away, you're bringing in a guy to replace him. You're not getting that much better. You want to hang on to Suzuki, get Draisaitl for other people. Now you're talking. Now, to me, Suzuki's an untouchable. Um, King Julian, that's creative. Hell, why not? It's creative. I don't know. It's 100%. I mean, I imagine you can do that. He says trade price. If you trade price, we don't even technically have to retain any money. You include Weber as the LTIR money, and you're getting Price at 3 million, and that's a lot of value. I mean, yeah, I imagine you can do that. It's does the other team want to do that? Yep, jumped again. It jumped a lot. What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit. Do we have a top 3 draft pick? Because it says that our pick is gone to Arizona and we have Carolina pick. Yeah, they traded a first and a third to Arizona for Christian Dvorak. And we got a first and third. They traded a first and second, or first, I think a first and third for Dvorak. And we got a first and third back for the offer sheet on Kotkaniemi. You trade. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Mars Boy. I'm not going to try. Sorry. Any team looking for a playoff goalie would. I think though Price has to play a little bit. Um, I kind of got stuck in. You guys are arguing over something. I'm looking for one for me. Uh, Gooley will probably be the closest to replacing Weber. Still won't be directly the same. No, but Gooley is a Weber type, though. I don't know if he's going to have Weber's offense, but he's definitely a Weber type. How long did it take Boston to win after they let Bork go elsewhere to win before retiring? Asking regarding the price possibility. I don't know the answer to that because you were talking a while back now, right? Early 2000. I mean, I don't know. Wasn't Gordon there after that? Hey, Phil, if you're not gone already, have a good night. Thanks for being here, eh? Appreciate that. I say we trade for a fourth round pick for a hot dog, Phil. What does that mean? Pedersen could be a 40-goal scorer, but needs toughness and motivation. Needs a little more size, too, I think. Daryl, I think what you're talking about is from a couple of months ago. And, who knows? He could have changed his mind by now. Situations change, things change. Oh, Renault, good. I agree with you. Hit the like button, y'all. If you haven't hit the like button, let's see if we can get her to 20. I never see how many likes on StreamYard, so. Little green cactus. Mars boy, I looked it up because Rick is so far behind. I know, I'm just outdated. I I know there were a lot of comments I hadn't gotten to. But I'm not sure what you're looking up. That was 10 years, so I'm not going to get into that. Pedersen's in the protocol. Everybody's going to be in the protocol at some point this year. That's just how it's going to be. Hey, NHL Hockey News. How's it going, man? Oh, awesome. Got 20 likes now. Let's get 30. Come on, let's get more. All right. Give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Although we're winding down. We're winding down soon. Wouldn't want Pedersen will cost too much, in my opinion, and it'll probably be all for nothing because he's not playing well. Yeah, I don't know that it'll all I think he'll have a good career. He's kind of for 7.3 million, I don't know that I want to take a chance on Pedersen right now, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I want more size. We don't need another smallish guy. We need size. I want a big center. Suzuki, I mean, look, Suzuki's only 5'11". I want a guy that's 6'2", 6'3". That's what I'd like to see as the next as either the number one center, and I would imagine if he's that big, he'll be the number one center, or at least the number two guy. Renault, that's a bit kind of, I mean, not racist, but I mean, it's kind of, yeah, I'm not going to agree with that. Cole for William Nylander, and we give a second round pick. Yeah, Toronto's not taking that. Nylander's playing well, isn't? It's my Bills time. Isn't Nylander leading the team? 35 points. I thought I read that today. Yeah, they're not going to move him. Hell, with the money he's making compared to the other guys, you keep Nylander and you move one of the big guys with the big money. Okay, Renault. Yes, that's a take. You're not. No, that's a take. That's absolutely. I'm gonna call it out as ridiculous. Susie should move. So Suzuki should move to the wing once we're legit contenders. Move him to the wing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're paying him that kind of money because you're gonna move him to the wing. Toronto and Montreal will never trade with others with each other involving blockbusters. No, Montreal, Toronto, minor stuff, but they won't make big trades. So no. Besides, I mean, Toronto, why would they move Nylander? He's making like 4 million less than some of those big guys, than all of them, and he's producing more. Why would they trade him? If they cancel the season, just give the cup to Toronto. Never, never. Pry it from my cold, dead hands. Did they trade Price and Lehkonen to the Oilers? Why do you ask that, Stephen? No, they have not done that. Ducharme would move Suzuki to the wing. Well, he hasn't, so I don't think so. Renault, I guess I would agree with that. I don't know why you're saying that, though. I'm not talking about moving. Anyway, I'm talking to myself now. Rick, as long as Evilman runs the league, can you see Canadian teams win a cup? Because Bettman or Evilman seems to like USA teams with it. I mean, are there any Canadian teams good enough? I don't know. Bettman didn't have much that he could do about Montreal making to the cup final. If they'd have beaten Tampa Bay, they'd have won a cup. So, I mean, if the team's good enough, they'll win a cup. Steven says because they said that in Jeff Gordon. I don't know who Jeff Gordon is. Tweeter. If you're talking Jeff Gordon, no. Who said that? Show me the tweet. Ben would rather see a cup in Arizona. That's not happening anyway. I think he'd probably get his first hard on in 20 years if that happened, but not happening. Yeah, Stephen Cog, like King Julian said, probably a fake account. Yeah, it's a fake account. If there's no white dot with a check mark in it, it's not a real account. Cole for Patrick Laine. They're saying Laine might be available. Don't know. Liney's getting up there in age now. I don't give up on Cole yet. It's a shitty year for the whole team, not just Cole. Arizona spends most of their cap on keeping the ice frozen and buying hot dogs for Phil Kessel. Got to keep him in hot dogs. It's in his contract. And they can afford it though by not paying their rent. That's what they do. Because they know Gary's gonna come up with some money for them if they need. Line A going to be a free agent soon? Probably. I kind of think so, but I mean, if he's a free agent soon, you don't need to trade for him. Do you? Calgary might look to enter an arms race with Edmonton and overpay for Toffoli. Yeah, not heard any rumors about Toffoli. Where do you get that from? I mean, I try to be plugged in as much as I can. I've not had not even wind of that. So yeah, I don't know where you get that from. You're a free agent after 7 seasons served. I don't think that's the case because no, I think there's more than that. Because what if a kid comes in at 18? That means at 25 he's a free agent UFA. I thought it's at 27 or 28, depending on when you came into the league or started. The Yotes rink built underground. It's an underground rink. Maybe the only way to keep the ice cold enough in the desert. Do I think Byron gets traded by the deadline? Yeah, I have him in the video to be on the block, but I'm not sure. Like Byron could be a guy that you keep, veteran leader, to keep around, or you can move him. I would think teams would want him. His contract still only 1 year, but still a little bit lofty for I think. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about Byron. Little Green Cactus, you're not catching me on that one this time. It's proved, yes, I don't remember it, but apparently it happened. You have to sign your RFA contract short enough to expire right after 7 years. No, I'm not sure I don't think you're 100% correct there. Arturi Lehkonen is 26, and he'll be an RFA next year as well. His contract's up. They signed him 1 year. He's got 1 more year of being an RFA. So, like, I don't know. Is that 7 years he's around? I don't know. We could always retain on Byron. Yeah, no, I think so. I said that in the video. I could see retaining $500,000 on Byron to make it more palatable to move him. But he's the kind of guy you might keep for a year in a rebuild as a leader, and good for the young guys. You got to keep some older guys around. Byron was 3.5 million, 3.4, but for the last few years hasn't been movable. Suzuki doesn't give anybody minutes. The coach does, dude. If Toronto did win the cup, though, it would be huge profits for the NHL, and it would be the end of the world because as soon as they got the cup and they presented them with it, everything would blow up because that's how it is. And, it's really hard to win a cup in the first round. You can't do it. Nobody's won a cup in the first round ever. And so Toronto never gets out of the first round. Don't know how they're going to win a cup. Because believe me, when this year's playoffs come around, Toronto in the first round goes, that's what they do. They choke. Not going to change. Anybody thinks that's going to change? I don't know. Not happening. Can we trade Ducharme? We don't have to trade Ducharme. They can just fire him. We need Ducharme out there on the power play. Yeah, yeah. True when they will face Boston this year. Wait, what's that? Yes. Doesn't matter who they face. They're still going to choke. Okay, X3J, I'm just not sure. Lassie Thompson, I know who he is and all that. Is he playing in the league and doing like something? I don't know. Don't give up on Cole just yet. Don't give up on him just yet, I think. Remember, he's only 21. Well, how old is he? 20. He's only just turned 21. Got a long way. He's got a few more years yet before I'd give up on him. Although I didn't mark him as an untouchable because I think they could and they might trade him to get, I don't know what, move up in the draft, even something like that. Yeah, King Julian. I mean, everybody's shit right now. So why would Cole be different? Okay, but why Brian Giunta specifically? It's not the only short player that ever played the game. Cole needs to. Nick, I don't know. It's a shitty year. I don't know. I just wish they would have put him back in Laval and not screw up his chance at the Calder. At the Calder Trophy. I'm shaking everything. Ooh. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to take my meds when we're done. I'll forget otherwise if I don't put them there. Cole is just too old and slow. Wait, who are we talking about? COL. Who's COL? Mars Boy. Back when they were able to win some series, they're not able to anymore if they choke. It's their curse. They've been cursed to choke. You'd load up the Laval team with the young guns and try to win the playoffs down there. Why? What's that going to accomplish for the Habs? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would like the Rocket to win, but they're not the priority to win. The priority is up here, my friend. Although, I guess in a rebuilding era, I guess that's fine. Build morale on the Rocket. No, I'm not going to build morale on the Habs. Oh, was Cole you're talking about? Okay, well, I just because you spelled it COL. I wasn't sure if it was Colorado. I wasn't sure. Anyway, Bruno, you build morale by winning, but you don't have to load them up. We need guys up here learning how to play the NHL game. There's guys that are ready to come up and and make the transition here. Keeping them too long in the AHL is not good either, in my opinion. All right, I'm going to take off here in a minute. I'm going to go make my supper. But King Julian, you got to look at it kind of like this. I'm not sure about Hool either, but I kind of look and say the last 3-4 games, the kids have been a lot of kids have been up here with all the COVID, and they did really good against competition they shouldn't have done well. You got to look and say that the coach has to have helped. The coach in Laval has to have helped that out. That's what development is. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards maybe Hool's not a bad development coach. Right now, Renault, the head coach has to play young players. Got no choice. It's all the players he has. And in a rebuilding season, I mean the GM and Gordon and whoever the GM is, they can make first of all tell him to play the kids, but moving guys out, he'll have no choice on who he has to play. Bodies that are here is who he's going to have to play. Hey, Mars Boy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I hope you stick around, and we do this often enough here. But yeah, good to see you, and hopefully you'll stick around. I appreciate that. Talking trades, I think we're going to be talking trades like a lot over the next the rest of the season. Yeah, it's what it's going to be about, trades. So trades always do well when you're on YouTube talking about that kind of stuff. Speculation always does well. Claude Julien's probably going to end up. I hear. Oh, where's the rumor I just heard about Julien? I can't remember the team. I just heard Julien a rumor from going somewhere. Damn it. I can't remember. They probably would have been better off just keeping Julien and not making that change. But hey, it is what it is. Claude pressed the best juice from KK. Okay, good way to put it. I think on that, I'm going to take off here. I want to thank everybody for being here. Appreciate that you're all here. I'll be back on Saturday. There's no game, but I'll be doing my Saturday hockey talk. So hopefully, guys will check that out. Hopefully, there's some news to talk about, something by then. But yeah, we'll just we'll have a Saturday hockey talk on Saturday. Wilson just got kicked out because he hit the ref and a play turning the fight with McCarron. Wilson hit the ref, so he that should be a suspension. Not allowed doing that. Isn't McCarron with Nashville? I want to say. I don't know why I want to say Nashville. I know he's somewhere. All right, so I'm going to take off here. It's still early enough. So, yeah, I mean, I'll see you on Saturday. Hopefully there'll be some news on some of the players coming back and stuff like that. I doubt we'll have news on a GM by then, but they're saying, within the next 10 days. So, sometime on their road trip in the States, the next bunch of games, we should have an announcement there. And you never know. Maybe there'll be a movement of some sort. Don't know. Hopefully you guys will be back on Saturday with me. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just babbling, trying to think of something to say. I might as well just say have a good night. So please give a thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already. And I will see you on Saturday. And yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I got a busy day. Doubt there's going to be a video in between, but you never know. So have a great rest of the night. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate everybody. I'm approaching finally 3,000. I think I'm at 2,977 as far as subscribers go before this live stream started. So we're getting there. So hopefully there'll be something to celebrate in the next, hopefully in the next week or so, we hit 3,000 here. That'd be nice. But till then, just stay safe out there. Peace out. I'm going to stop babbling here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya in the future. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.